gentlemen, let's clear something up right now. Masculinity isn't loud. It isn't chest thumping. It isn't winning arguments, dominating rooms, or being the last one to speak. Real masculinity is self-governance. And most men don't lose authority because they're weak. They lose it because they hand the steering wheel to their emotions, their urges, or their need to be validated. Nephews, tonight, we're talking about the kind of strength nobody claps for at first. The strength to regulate yourself when you're frustrated, the discipline to pause when your ego wants to react, and the maturity to hold your standards even when nobody's rewarding you yet. Because here's the hard truth. Every time you react instead of respond, you lose credibility. Every time you chase validation, you surrender leverage. Every time you let emotion run the moment, you step out of leadership. Self-governance isn't suppression. It's power under control. Calm men don't demand respect. They command it. And not with words, not with force, with steadiness. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right, working, showing up, trying to improve, but still feel drained, reactive, or off center, this is why. You don't need to become aggressive. You need to become steady. And tonight, we're breaking down why restraint is strength, why leadership isn't control, why reacting costs you more than you think, and how self-governance shows up in your work, your relationship, and your daily life. Nephews, call in, write in, bring the situations where you feel tested, because the man who can govern himself never has to beg the world to follow him. This is Ask Your Favorite Uncle's Nephew. Lock in, the starts now. I'm your certified uncle tonight. Johnny Dumbbell, go ahead and introduce yourself for everybody.
I'm Johnny Dumbbell, a personal trainer and life coach here in beautiful Pittsburgh, where it finally got above 20 degrees Fahrenheit. But, you know, building on what Uncle Bill said, when you do start taking control of your life, that means you're going to start taking control of your circumstances. That does mean setting boundaries for yourself. In the beginning stages, when you do that, people are going to call you unreasonable. They're going to call you controlling. Shout out to Jesse the Yinzer cat here. They're going to call you everything but an assertive man who's finally taking control of his life. And you are going to have to pin your ears back and go through all that, knowing that you know what's best for your own life, or else you wouldn't be leading it. Now, I didn't learn that from my successes. I learned that from my failures. I learned that from my shortcomings. I learned that from the times that I didn't get the things that I set out to get, because frankly, I didn't fight hard enough for them. So through the questions you're going to hear tonight, I know that I'm going to see a lot of myself in some of these young men's stories. You might see a little bit of yourself in these young men's stories. You might even see a little bit of yourself in the other end of these young men's stories. Whatever it happens to be, you will see yourselves tonight. I encourage you to ask questions when you do, if that confuses you. I encourage you to continue to like and subscribe and watch us every Monday and Thursday at 9:35 p.m. But most of all, I encourage you to understand that we are not here to teach you because we're perfect. We're here to teach you because we've screwed up so that you don't have to. Just listen to us, guys. Let's go.
All right, Johnny, we got a question in the chat I'd like to answer before we get going. Brandon wants to know what the difference is between respond and react. You want me to handle this? Would you like to take it? Because I think this is a good question, and this actually matters, because most men think they're responding when they're reacting.
Correct. Reacting is when you run into a brick wall and you fall down and go, shit, I just ran into a brick wall. Responding is seeing the brick wall and knowing that you don't want to run into it again if you ever ran into it before, and going over, under, around it, whatever you got to do so that you don't have to run yourself into that brick wall. That's the simplest terms I can give you. A reaction is just how you feel about something. A response is what the hell are you going to do about it?
Brandon, I'd like to elaborate that a little
Brandon.
more.
Love you, man.
And tell you that a reaction is automatic, and it's going to come from places like emotion, ego, fear of loss, need for control, or desire for relief right now. Reaction is fast, it's urgent. It can even sound reasonable. All right. Reaction sounds like I need to say something, or I can't just let this sit. You have to the need to understand what somebody meant. Or reaction is driven by your nervous system and not by judgment. It's your body trying to escape discomfort. Now, the cost of reacting is you leak authority, you give information about your emotional state, and you hand timing and leverage to the other person. Now, when you respond, response is chosen. Response comes from clarity, self-regulation. It can come from your values, your long-term thinking, or your identity even. And response is slower, it's intentional, and it's outcome independent. Response sounds like, I'll address this when I'm calm. Response sounds like, I know who I am regardless of the outcome. Response doesn't rush you to relieve discomfort. It allows discomfort to exist without panic. Yep. So the benefit of responding is you setting the tempo and you preserving your self-respect, sir. Stay aligned with your standards, nephew.
Yeah, reaction is an act. Response is a well thought out act in, response to your circumstance. Yep.
And Brandon, if you'd like to know the fastest way to tell which one you're in, ask this question before you speak or you text or something. If the outcome goes against me, will I still be proud of how I handled this?
Perfect.
If the answer is no, you're reacting, sir.
So we have got 4 good questions tonight. We've got from 4 really great guys. And, I can tell each and every one of these guys has seen our show, not just because they knew to write in, but also because it seems absolutely. It seems like they're getting it. It seems like they kind of understand where we're going with a lot of this stuff, but they just need a little bit more of a compass to kind of point in the right direction. So I like some of the progress I'm seeing in a couple of these guys, and I know that a couple of them are watching right now, or they're going to be watching live. But I know a couple of them aren't going to see us till tomorrow. I don't care when you see this, but make sure you see this. But question 1 is from Alex. And Alex says, and let's bear in mind, Alex is young and probably acting the way I might have acted at his age. He says, my ex has not responded for a day and a half now.
Bruh.
It's like she doesn't want to be your girlfriend, man.
How do you even notice how long it's been?
Well, right. And here's how. He says, the
go.
background of what happened was last year around Christmas time, I had a feeling she was growing away from me, and I spent the whole of Christmas and New Year's with her, and it was one of the best times I've ever had. But 2 weeks after, gentlemen, can we please use punctuation? I proofread as best I can, but come on, man. Anyway, but 2 weeks after we had a major argument, and I tried my best to assure her what she was saying was not true, and what I was thinking Norse said on her name. You see, this is what I'm talking about. While we had the argument, I had told her not to let her guy best friend know about our argument. In other words, don't talk to your friends about stuff we talk about. And later that night, she messaged me saying that she is in fact going to her guy best friend's house because she has nobody and is very overwhelmed at the moment, which she did. Later that night, I was really not doing well in my head. And then I thought I'd look at the tracking app that she wanted me to be on and saw that she had also removed herself from it. Later, I broke up with her and then spent the whole week talking, and she kept assuring me that I felt... telling me that she wanted to cheat on him. If she wanted to cheat on me with him, she would have done so, even though she didn't. A week later, I decided to really cut ties. Ooh. A whole week later, huh? Moving on, I made a mistake and messaged her a week later, and she actually received. You did not make a mistake. Let me stop right there. You did not message her by mistake. You messaged her by choice, and it was a very piss poor choice. Let's leave it at that. I made a piss poor choice and messaged her a week later, and she actually responded, telling me all about jobs and everything, and we got into a small conversation where she replied really quick. And now 3 days later, she has turned her read receipts off. Read or read receipts. Either way, the receipts, she turned them off and hasn't responded anymore, even when I tried checking up on her 24 hours later, because, hey, maybe she forgot that she knows you or something. So, yeah, follow up, right? People only check their phone every 5 seconds, 24 hours a day. Come on, kid. Although I'm told by my friends that she has been posting herself a lot lately on TikTok, and she even posted last night. I know this because they still can see her TikTok, but I am blocked. I'm very confused, and I wanted to ask for any advice or opinions that the two of you may have. He didn't ask us to be gentle, and that's a good thing because we're not gonna. Now, here's the problem. You had a feeling she was growing away from you by Christmas. You went all the way through New Year's up to, I'm assuming as of the writing of this email, about 8 or 10 days ago. So you knew something was amiss. You knew something wasn't right. And not only did you not run from the elephant in the room, you didn't even bring it up in a conversation. Because here's the problem, my friend. Especially when we're young, we guys have this thing called an ego. Now, do not confuse ego with arrogance. Those two things are not the same. The arrogance is something that can't be destroyed even if you want to. An ego is so fragile, despite its big size. The ego is the glass house you don't want to throw rocks from, if you get my drift, because it's easily broken. It's easily damaged, and that's what happened here. Your ego didn't want you to believe that she had been thinking about this before then. You noticed her growing away from you at Christmas. That means she was already on her way out the door by Halloween, at the latest. By the time you have a clue, especially at your age, and let's see, you're 20, especially at your age, the funny thing is, you know there's writing on the wall. You have been told not to assume things. You're told not to judge a book by its cover. You're told that any assumption or following your gut might be wrong. Maybe that's what's happened to you. That's the only thing I can think of. Because the writing is clearly on the wall. She starts pulling away, like Bill said 2 weeks ago. The move is not more effort. The move may be more effort towards working on yourself, but that you should be doing that whether she's in your life or not. The move is not more effort. It sure as shit. I'd like to thank the Academy. It sure as shit isn't following up with her because she has not responded in 24 hours. What, did you think she just didn't check? You think she just didn't hear her phone? You think she forgot to pick up her smartphone that is probably the center of her life if she's under 30, and you think she forgot to check her new messages? No, dude. The guy she's interested in, whether she's the guy best friend or not, that's the message she was looking for. Yours, she sees as unread and says, I'll respond to him some other time. What that should indicate to you is there's no need to follow up. But that should indicate to you is that this has been cooked since late fall. She wants nothing to do with you, dude. And at this point, you are best cutting your losses even here. We all know how I feel about girls having guys' best friends and whether or not you date those girls or not. That doesn't matter at this point.
Bruh.
She went to her guy best friend's house. Great. So what? The point of the matter is that she already lost respect for you. She already lost the desire to talk to you. She had already lost the desire to be anywhere near you by the time any of that happened. So who she does want to be near shouldn't even matter to you. What you should be thinking about is she doesn't want to be near me. I'm not going to take that personally. I'm going to go ahead and work on myself personally, and when I'm ready, move forward. But you didn't do that. You wanted to make sure she still liked you because God forbid your ego fall to the floor and shatter from 6 inches up. And that's exactly what happened here. Your ego covers a lot of area, but it's very, very thin. In other words, you're easily hurt by the actions or inaction of a woman that you're hoping for that dopamine rush for, but it's still an easy target because you haven't built a foundation. You haven't decided to like and respect yourself. Those kinds of things can reinforce what could be a healthy ego if you do those things first. But no, you're validating yourself based on her attention, and you're allowing yourself to feel invalidated by her lack of action and response to you. We talked about reaction versus response. I guarantee you, man, whether there's anything in your inbox or not at this point, there was a response. She gave it, not you. And what's happening here is you're reacting. Your response should be to take this as a lesson, move forward, but only after you discover who you really are and what your goal in life really is and what you actually like about yourself. And that might take a lot of time. Hell, I wish somebody would have told me to do it because it took me several more years than it should have. And I hope it doesn't for you. But the point of the matter is, until you figure out who you are and what you like about yourself and what you'd be willing, what you'd be willing to share as a commodity of knowing you, until you're ready to be able to exude that, you're not ready to even move forward with somebody else. I don't know if your improvement needs to be physical and or mental and or spiritual and or whatever it happens to be. But right now, you only like yourself as much as somebody else does. That's no way to live, man. You're too young to live the rest of your life like that. Don't do it. Don't do it, man.
All right, Alex. I got to tell you, you're not confused. You're addicted to updates, and the withdrawal from that feels like confusion. And that's because your nervous system is trained to look for her response to feel okay. And a day and a half to you feels like crisis. Alex, Johnny's right. That relationship didn't end because you overthought. It ended because the dynamic turned into emotional outsourcing. You felt uneasy. You tried to secure the bond with time together. Conflict happened. She ran to another man for regulation.
And I mean, platonic or not, yeah. I mean, you got to think about that.
You checked tracking, read receipts. You tried to regain certainty through.
See, Alex, I was going to let that go. Alex, I was going to let that go, but Uncle Bill's not. No,
I'm not going to let that go. All right, you broke up and then you negotiated the breakup for a week is what happened. Now, you cut ties and then you reopened the door. Now, she's quiet and posting and you're back in the loop. Nephew, that loop is the problem. The real question is not why isn't she responding? The real question is why does her response decide your emotional stability?
More importantly, why are you still probing for it?
If you really want to know, I don't want to try to interpret anything. And we appreciate you writing in, and I don't want to be too hard on you. So what I'd like you to do is you got to turn off the read receipts and you got to stay active online.
Pretend it's 2005.
All right. So here's
the thing. That shit.
Avoiding conflict and choosing the easiest regulation, and that's attention elsewhere. And nephew, I have seen this myself in my own personal life. Mm-hmm. So, and to be honest with you, she probably likes knowing that you're watching.
She might be watching this, reading this question right now. It doesn't matter now.
All right. No matter what
probably not though.
No matter what's going on here, the move is the same. You stop auditioning for access. I'm going to give you some actual game. And this is a self-governance reset. Alex, call this your 72-hour protocol. All right, now, this is simple and clean. Nephew, this isn't corny. The first thing you need to do is kill the surveillance. Stop checking her TikToks, the IG. Stop asking friends for updates. Stop accidentally looking.
Bruh.
Stop giving a crap what she's even doing. Is it going to help you?
Here's the thing. You're watching, it's emotional proximity. And proximity keeps that addiction alive. All right. Now, you got to end the loop. And you've already, if you've already double texted and you feel like you need to fix it, I'll give you one clean exit line and then like silence. You're going to say, hey, I'm going to step back and fully move forward. Wishing you well. If you must send it, and I'm not saying that you should, but if you have to, you can end this emotional loop you're stuck in by sending that message. And start replacing checking with building. Can you, please, sir?
Yeah.
All right, every time you get the urge to check on her, do 20 push-ups for Uncle Johnny. Okay? Do 10 deep breaths for your certified unk here. Okay? Or speak into existence about the things that you control today. Now, this isn't therapy talk. This is behavioral leadership. And because what you need right now is boundary clarity. All right. If she's going to another man during conflict, all right, then you need to have, and we talk about this all the time, nephew, standards for how you live your life. So you're going to have some rules. And Uncle Johnny talks about this all the time, setting that boundary at the very beginning, and you didn't. So now you have to set a rule for yourself.
And now you're telling her who she can and can't talk about things to.
You don't do triangles. And if she needs another man to regulate your relationship stress, then you're not compatible.
Yeah, and I mean,
you're not controlling her, you're selecting.
Yeah, I mean, never mind the red flag that her having a heterosexual male best friend should be raising for you. Never mind that. I'll forget all about that. I'm not going to listen to it. When you tell her, don't talk about our problems to your guy friend, I don't care whether that guy friend is a girl. I don't care whether it's a group of girls. Young men, please understand. Don't ever assume that any email, picture, text message, comment, anything you say to a girl you're dating, wow, that was rude. Excuse me. Don't assume for a minute that she is the only one that's going to hear it, that she's the only one that's going to read it. She's the only one that's going to experience that conversation. I don't care if her friend is her freaking cat. The fact of the matter is, no text message you send her is going to be read by only her unless it's something mundane. If it's something pertaining to a serious conversation or debate that you're having, assume that every member of her friend group and family is going to be reading it. I'm not saying they necessarily are, but in a lot of cases, if not all, they will be. So, number one. So, by asking her not to discuss this with her friends, I don't care if her friend is a boy, a girl, a man, a woman, an elephant, she's going to discuss it with them. Bruh. And that's just kind of how it is. Ladies are social creatures, and you know something? Not only is there nothing wrong with that, in a lot of ways, that's great. But the thing you need to do is understand that you have no realistic expectation of privacy when you're sending something that is immortalized in text or photo. And that's something people would do well to remember, not only in the messaging scheme, but in the internet and social media altogether. Remember, even if you delete it seconds later, the internet is still forever. Someone can still find it. Someone can still critique it. And you know something? You're going to have to accept that as fact. The question is, are you putting things out there that you would be proud of or ashamed of? That's part of your own personal development. And if you haven't discovered that part of yourself yet, I highly recommend not dating until you do.
Okay. Well, now something else he's doing that I need him to stop doing immediately, Uncle Johnny, is he's romanticizing her behavior. He's telling himself maybe she's overwhelmed because he can't admit the truth of the situation.
That's the ego part. Yeah. He doesn't want to believe
overwhelmed people still respond to what they value.
Well, yeah, when they're interested, yes.
All right, so you're calling surveillance caring. All right, you're double texting by checking in. You're confusing nostalgia with compatibility, and you're trying to win a courtroom case with explanations. All right,
Alex, by the way, the court, yeah.
Answer this honestly, Alex, to yourself, or you can let us, right back into Uncle Johnny and let us know. If she replied right now with one warm message, would you be calm or would you relapse and start negotiating access again? So I just want to know, like, how, if you see the trap there.
Answer us if you can, but at least answer yourself on that one, yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know, Johnny. Who here has checked read receipts and felt their stomach drop? I don't know.
I got to be honest with you. I really don't know how to do that anyway. But, I mean, even if I did, I probably wouldn't.
Nephews, if you've ever watched an ex's story and called it closure, please let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we'd like to see that. And let us know if you need assistance with that, because that's what we're here for. We're live right now. We are your lifeline at this moment. So if you got questions, we got answers. Let's go.
We got a call-in number just for you to call in and ask us questions.
As for you, Alex, as well as our friend here, Jimmy, and the other two question askers we got tonight, you check your inbox. I got the Johnny Dumbbell Challenge for the first 4 weeks with complete total body workouts that you only have to do every other day included. So let me know how that's going. And for the love of God, stick with it. All right, so we got question 2, and this is from Jimmy. Because I see so many people, I see so many women saying that hi is not enough. He's talking about online dating. Excuse me. He says, thoughtful first messages get ignored almost as often as a simple hi. The real goal is just to get you to glance at my profile, and if you like what I see, say hi back, and then we can have an interesting conversation. If we're not compatible, fair enough. But expecting clever, carefully written openers when they go unanswered 99% of the time is unrealistic. Attraction comes first. People swipe in a second, regardless of how witty or kind someone is. Look, hey, appearances do get your foot in the door. Online dating just feels broken. Endless options, people hopping from match to match, chasing someone slightly better instead of actually building something with someone good. The moment reality doesn't match the fantasy, they move on. And listen, Jimmy, to be honest with you, this is exactly why I usually prefer to meet women the old-fashioned way myself. But he says, so yeah, I'm salty this morning. He says coffee kicked in, frustration follows. Excuse me, that's life. Are there any suggestions for what I can say or do better in a message or in my profile that could make me more successful? Now, he did include his profile. I thought his profile was well written. I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is self-confidence. You could write a great profile and still have no self-confidence, and I think that's what's happening here. So what I think is happening here is online dating is not broken. It's just not a very close method of connection. Not quite like meeting someone in person. Now, I understand we don't all have time to just be moseying around the marketplace and suddenly run into the love of our lives. And I get that. However, understand that you might have to put a little personality in your photos. Maybe instead of taking a picture like this, you do the dumb shit I do and take a picture like this. Something that shows your sense of humor, something that shows your personality. Your profile does talk about your career, but it does not talk about your goals or your ambition. And so, I'm going to leave that aside because I didn't really think that we needed to include that. But I got to tell you, the online dating, the online dating process is not broken. Okay. Your attitude and approach to it is not broken, but needs a little bit of tuning up. Bill?
Jimmy thinks the problem is the opener, but the opener isn't the engine. It's the ignition. All right. If the engine's trash, turning the key harder doesn't make the whip move. All right. If women aren't responding, it's usually one of 3 things. The top one, Uncle Johnny already said it. Your photos don't signal value, sir. Number 2, your bio is probably sending some kind of neediness or vagueness signals. And number 3, I can tell from your question that your behavior signals frustration, and women can smell that through a text.
And by the way,
isn't to be clever. The goal is to be clear, attractive, and easy to say yes to. Now, I'm glad you wrote it.
By the way,
because we extensively go over dating profiles on Thursday night, and maybe we should spend more time teaching these young men how to build a more solid profile instead of teaching them just how to read between the lines, teaching them discernment when it comes to the women's profiles. So
yeah, I think that's important too. Just
some actual game here on how to build a profile step by step. Okay. So, and look, this is for everybody watching. Nephews, this is game you can implement tonight on your online dating profile. Okay. Yep. 5 photo formula. All right. No more than 6. I think 5 is the perfect number. Photo 1, photo it should be your face and like calm authority, like clear face, no sunglasses, natural light, natural expressions, or a slight smirk, no filters, because this is going to signal that I'm stable and I'm not hiding. All right. Photo 2, full body, no flexing, nephew. Stand naturally. Proper clothing that fits.
If you got the goods that can tell,
not a mirror selfie. All right, now this signals I take care of myself without begging for applause.
Actually, I'll take it a step further. It says I am proud of the way I take care of myself. You might not have a great physique, but you're taking care of yourself in some way, shape, or form or another. And by the way, I want you to go through life with 2, if not 3, different forms of self-care that you do on a regular basis. If you want to know what that is, type self-care in the comments, and I'll be glad to talk to you offline about that later on.
All right, photo 3, nephew. That's going to be like a competence photo. All right, this is you doing something real at the gym, cooking, fixing something, hiking, work with pride. This isn't going to be like staged. This is going to signal I'm useful and I have a life. Now, photo 4 should be like social proof, but in a controlled way. Like 1 group photo max, where you are
or at least
clearly
a photo of you having
identifiable.
Fun,
clearly identifiable. No bar chaos, no women draped all over you. And look, this is going to signal I'm socially normal and respected. Now, photo 5, for me, this is like lifestyle and values. Okay, clean environment, something that definitely reflects your lifestyle, a reading spot, outdoors, event, hobby, something that signals this is what dating me looks like. Now, I'm also going to tell you what to remove from your dating profile, because we're just happy you wrote in tonight asking questions. Yeah. We want to teach you from the mistakes we've made over the years so you can do better than we ever did.
Dude, and you need to.
You're going to remove some things from your profile. All right. You're going to remove any bathroom mirror selfies.
All right, there's one gone.
That has a dirty room in it. 10 group photos, get rid of them. Car seat selfies, unless it's clean and you look sharp. All right, anything with dead fish, blickies pointed at the camera, middle finger, intoxicated pics, get rid of all of them. All right?
Tongue ring shots.
Just reality. All right? Now, we need to talk about your bio, because the 3-line filter, stop trying to appeal to everybody, because that's why nobody feels pulled in.
Oh, by the way, Deborah, I saw your comment. If you go to Johnny Dumbbell Lifestyle on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe and hit that bell notification. You'll be able to tell when I post new content. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're watching tonight.
All right, so your
and yes,
bio,
Deborah, you were the first.
The line 1 of the bio, it should be calm and grounded, discipline, and big on consistency. Line 2 should be what you value, sir. Peace, honesty, emotional maturity. Line 3 is what I like to put as a soft disqualifier. If you thrive on drama or mixed signals, we won't align. That's it. It's clean, it's masculine, and it filters chaos. Now we need to talk about prompts. The 3-prompt rule. Now, 1 prompt, your first prompt, let it show a little humor, light. Uncle Johnny's real good at jokes. All right, ask him if you need some tips on that. Or,
it's all in the delivery, man.
I don't know if any of you guys follow Uncle Johnny on Facebook, But when he posts dad jokes and stuff, man, that always makes me laugh. He's always joking around. He's a comedian as much as he is a coach. He just loves bringing good energy.
Listen, we're not getting out of this world alive. You're either gonna laugh or cry. It's up to you. I choose laughter.
Okay, so back to the prompts. First prompt, it should show some kind of light humor. The second prompt should be what you value. All right. And then you should also have a prompt that's like a date vibe. All right. Now, all right, like examples of a humor prompt, Johnny. I'll give him one, and then if you could give him one. Something like, my most irrational skill is turning a quick stop into a full mission.
Nice. My personal favorite is, especially this time of year, is my God. My personal favorite this time of year is my God, it's so cold outside. I just saw a politician with his hands in his own pockets. Then you know it's cold.
Now your value prompt. Okay. I would go with something like, I respect women who are direct, consistent, and kind. Keep it simple. Now you need to have like a date vibe prompt too. So we always talk about a few things for your first date. And the prompt should reflect that. First date, coffee, quick walk, see if conversation flows. All right. Yeah. And I got to tell you, this is game with integrity, because it's honest and it filters. So now we got your profile somewhat situated, nephew. We need to talk a little bit about messaging. Now, Johnny, would you like to, you want to go into this now, or you want to save this for Thursday?
Here's the thing. I am so much for simplicity that I'm just going to say this. Messaging on the app is for nothing more than getting the phone number. And texting between the phones is for nothing more than scheduling the time and the place that you are going to do something that you have chosen for the two of you to do as a first date. You do not need to be texting for 2, 4, 6 hours for 3 days in a row. There is no need for that. That's how you put all your cards on the table. You have nothing left to surprise her with when it comes to who you are. You gave her no more layers of the onion to peel through. She might not even meet you at that point. You might get ghosted. If you're lucky, she'll be nice enough to cancel with you verbally. The thing of it is that if you're giving her everything now, what the hell are you going to talk about on date number 1? What's going to happen in those 45 to 60 minutes when you're qualifying her to fit your program? She already knows what it is. She may or may not have already decided what she wants to be a part, whether or not she wants to be a part of it, before she even thought about getting in the car to meet you. At that point, if you're lucky, she might show up to get a couple of free drinks.
Well, nephew, if she's low effort, you don't punish. You redirect once.
Sorry, guys don't try hard enough for that.
Now, Johnny is a big advocate for setting the date by the third message, and I am with him on that.
And your fifth, if you're really dragging ass.
Your first message should be something short and specific. Let's see, what have I said? Hey, you seem grounded. I like that. And then
I see you play the cello. Awesome. My aunt does.
Okay, yeah. And then by the third message, you have to be direct. You have to be leading the conversation. You have to say, hey, let's grab coffee this week. What day works?
Yeah.
So
I really do have an aunt to play cello, though.
If you have to redirect, it should look something like, hey, it looks like you're busy. No worries. If you want to continue later, reach out. And then stop. That's masculine. No resentment.
I wouldn't even do that. I don't send 2 text messages in a row.
Well, no, that, like I said, that'd be like, you're right, but I'm
no response is a response. And I mean, the thing of it is that, and the thing is, she might not even actually be rejecting you. She may not ever see your message because, look, men and women have a very different inbox experience when it comes to online dating. Even the top percentile of men are only going to end up with 10, 15, 20 messages in her inbox, and that's actually pretty damn good. The average woman is going to have something at like 50 or more. And that's if she's really not that committed to the whole online dating thing. So understand they're already going to have an option advantage. But the thing of it is that even if you stick out or stand out, compared to the other guys, if she doesn't see it, she doesn't see it. And she may respond to the third guy in her inbox. You might be guy number 7 that she never read the message. She may never open it. Whatever it matters. The thing of it is that don't drive you crazy with red receipts, which, by the way, costs money. Understand that you're just going to have to put the best, profile, the best photos, and the best description of who you are and what your goals in life are forward. And look, you're going to get the matches if you can present value. Whether you work in sales or whether you're looking to date, if you present something that she is interested in seeking, you're going to get responses.
Johnny, I'm going to go ahead and correct his mindset right now because I appreciate him writing in, and I want to give him the game on how to move forward on this. So we've given you tips for your own profile. We've given you some tips about messaging. Now I need to talk about your mindset. Jimmy, apps aren't broken. They're a mirror. Now, if you show up unclear, you're going to get unclear results. So I need you to replace that first photo, all your photos really, within the next 24 hours, reduce it to 5, rewrite your bio, and use a 3-message lane for a week. All right. Now, I would also tell you that you seem intimidated by online dating. And nephews, none of you should be. All it is the place where you meet women. You meet them online. You still got to do the work. It's still about you as a man. It's still about your standards and your values and how impressive you are. You still have to show up as that guy. You're only meeting them online. So don't be intimidated by apps like Bumble, Hinge, or even Tinder. Plug in with your favorite uncles, and we will get you squared away on it, and you'll be out here winning before you know it. Appreciate you right now.
And I also encourage you to get out there and learn how to have a verbal conversation, how to start it, how to conduct it, and how to end it. Because again, this whole online dating thing, this is just to get your foot in the door. Like I said, 3-4 messages online, 3 to 5 messages via text. And now you're going to need to know how to put on the charm in person. Now, like I always tell you, do not try to fake self-confidence and what do they call it? A commanding presence. If you try to fake that, not only can she smell that like a fart in the car with the windows up, but it's not going to come across as, oh, he's trying to be confident, but he's not. No, it's going to come across as like you're creepy. A lot of the time, guys who try to fake confidence come across creepy because they're trying to be someone or something that they are not. And anybody who's trying to be I hate to use this word, but anybody who's trying to be a predator is going to try to come across as something or not. And that is the kind of vibe you're going to give off. And that is going to make her spidey sense go, oh, all right, you know what? He might be harmless, but I'm not going to stick around and find out. So, if you are not confident, don't fake it. And number one. Number two, if you are not confident, don't start trying to date until you are. Because if you don't know what you like about you, you will have no fucking idea what you want her to like about you. So one of two things is going to happen. You're going to continue to get rejected time after time, or on the rare occasion you do find a girl, you're going to find a girl who's going to smell that weakness in you again, like a fart in the car with the windows up, and take advantage of your kindness and your willingness. No, not your willingness, your eagerness to be with her. Either way, it's going to hurt you. You're either going to be lonely and or broke. Eventually, it's going to just not be good.
All right, anyway. Like I said, appreciate you writing in tonight, nephew. If you need some further up, you need us to elaborate, just write. We'll follow up with you.
Mm-hmm. So Jimmy, again, check your inbox. The Johnny Dumbbell Challenge is Oh, sorry. I'm going to hit send. Now it's in there. Next one we got is question series from Daryl. Now, Daryl said, let me get situated. Daryl said, I blocked a girl after 3 to 4 days of no talking. Is this right? I watch your hold on. I watch your podcast all the time, and I see that you both say not to waste time on someone who is not acting interested. So I was talking to a girl. We had fun dates. Guys, please, grammar. I just can't beg you enough. Everything was perfect. We texted a lot and invested mutually. Did you? The ratio of starting conversations was good. One time she and the other me. I had to correct that, by the way. But recently, I noticed that the last time I did start the conversation. After that, the conversation died because of a good night. I'm guessing from her. She did not start again after 3 days, which I think is concerning. Shouldn't be, as she only talks when I start the conversation. From what the two of you say, starting a conversation 2 times, 3 times in a row seems desperate and shows that she's not investing. Well, holy hell, man. It looks like you do watch us. Cool. All right. So I blocked her. But have you been listening? That's my question after I read this next part. So I blocked her, but I kind of regret it. Was it the right thing to do? Should I have waited longer? Before I hand this off to Uncle Bill, Daryl, I'm going to ask you this. How long should you have waited? How long is a piece of string? How long is a short time? That's subjective. Well, excuse me. I'm glad to see you watch us. And I'm glad to see that you're kind of absorbing some, not quite all, of our information. You're getting the what, but you're not understanding why we're telling you these things. I don't know what you mean by everything was perfect on the fun dates. I'm not even sure what you meant by fun dates. But what I do recognize is that for a while she was initiating conversations and now she no longer is. Now you're the one starting the last 2 or 3 in a row, which means that there's absolutely no way that you avoided texting at least 2, probably 3 or 4 times in a row before getting a response. After 3 days, it really sounds to me like you at first were really, really hopeful, and then became really, really frustrated, and then you blocked her. Now, do I think you should have blocked her? I mean, that's up to you, but I'm going to say I wouldn't have done it if it was me. I would have sent one message. Because again, people only check their phones every 10 seconds, 24 hours a day. I would have sent one message. And if I didn't hear from her until the morning, I would have taken a mental note. I would have sent her nothing, though. After 24 hours, you really kind of have to go towards the no response is a response mentality. Bill?
Johnny, our nephew Daryl here blocked her to look strong. Says he listens
See, that's
to
just
us.
it. He was trying to keep
Well,
up appearance.
I'm not so sure, because we tell these young men all the time that strength doesn't need an audience.
No.
All right, blocking isn't the same as boundaries.
He might as well have told her he was going to block her and then block her.
Along the lines of, I won't keep investing where there's no reciprocity.
Mm-hmm.
All right, control is, I'm going to punish you for not doing what I wanted. Silence is information, not disrespect.
Yeah, gentlemen, if you're walking away from a girl, you don't need to say to her, I'm walking away from you. This is what you do. I would have kept going, but I got a cord. But you get the idea. Do it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. You don't. The thing you guys don't understand is that you think you need to verbalize or vocalize, hey, I'm backing off because of this. Hey, I'm doing that because of that. No. Believe me when I tell you, she knows what she's doing. And if you have the appropriate response, she'll know why you had that response. And she will be able to determine within her own mind, was that a strong response? Was that a weak response? telling somebody you're about to cut contact is a weak response. Now, it doesn't look like he did that here, but you wanted her to see that she was blocked. Because, look, you don't get an alert saying so-and-so blocked you, but when that person tries to message you again, you can tell that you're blocked. At least on Facebook, I heard. And, otherwise. But the fact of the matter is that you wanted to send a message, but you didn't want to actually say the words. And I'm here to tell you, you didn't have to do either. You could have just let her be the next one to send a text, if ever. She may still not know she's blocked because you decided to go ahead and pursue and chase. She might have thought she was blocked and said, cool. Now I don't have to have the awkward conversation. The important thing to remember here is that you don't have to make some grandiose ceremony of cutting somebody out of your life. If she's not giving you the response in the time that you think she should, I'm not saying that your expectation is right or wrong. I'm saying that your expectation is your expectation, and for you, that's a boundary. All you had to do was decide that you were going to be the last one to send the message. You didn't have to block. You didn't have to let her know that you were backing away. No. Just like people with confidence don't have to say, hey, I want everybody here to know I'm confident. You don't need her to know, hey, I'm backing away from you because you don't talk to me enough. I don't know what your threshold is. It's different for a lot of people. But the fact of the matter is that if this is your particular way of being, shown the attention you want, and she's not giving that to you, it is okay for you to decide, all right, I'm just not going to text her anymore. But you didn't do that. You wanted to follow up. You wanted to make sure she still liked you. You needed that shot of dopamine, didn't you? Bill, tell him how dangerous dopamine is.
Johnny, I'm going to do better than that. I'm going to give him some actual game that he can use right now. Okay, so this is the one reach rule. You got to check the temperature sometimes. All right, so after 3 days, a grounded message is fine, but it should go something along the lines of, hey, I hope your week's been good. If you want to link up again, I'm free Thursday. And then stop. All right. Now, if she responds weak, you don't argue. You match that energy and keep moving. If she doesn't respond, you don't block. You close the file. All right. Blocking is correct when there's disrespect, when there's manipulation, when there's repeated.
When you're afraid you'll go back to a toxic situation.
When there's harassment, triangulation games. Otherwise, blocking is usually ego protection. Yep. All right. Now, if he blocks and regrets it, here's the honest move. You can unblock quietly, but you do not message. You let time pass. And if she reaches out later, you decide from calm. That's called integrity, sir. A self-governed man can tolerate silence without needing to slam doors.
Yep. Yeah. So, I would say to you, look, if she's not responding the way you want her to, I'm not saying that what you're saying is reasonable or unreasonable. I'm saying that she is not fitting the program that you currently have. Now, do you currently have a good program? I don't know. It sounds like it could use a little work, but you're trying to develop some kind of structure. I do think you're being either a little too strict on yourself because you don't want to be tempted to talk to her again, or you're being too strict on her. Whatever it happens to be, if you're sending 2 or 3, 4 text messages in a row, this is not the girl that you should be wasting your time on. I think what needs to happen is you need to kind of have take a serious look at what you want in life and how you're going to get there. And at that point, once you've established those two things, then you can decipher who fits into that program and who can actually help you get there and who might be a hindrance and, who you need to get rid of. Not just when it comes to dating, but, friends, business associates, whatever it happens to be. But it really does sound to me like you're hanging a little bit too much on how much they want you and not enough about who you want to be and where you want to go. And those are the two most important things you need to figure out before you try moving on with somebody else. So that's what.
Hey, Daryl, thank you for writing in. We appreciate you.
So, Daryl, just like the other two, I'm going to be sending you, actually, I already sent it to you. Check your inbox. You got the first 4 weeks of the Johnny Dumbbell Challenge. Now, you did mention, I didn't put this in the actual original question, but you did mention that you're kind of in a intermediate phase of fitness. So I sent you a version of Crazy Eights. It's going to be a little harder than what I usually start people out on. So it's going to be tough. If you need to level down, let me know. But dude, don't level down, man. I know what you can do. Hit it. So
I just love the faith and the enthusiasm you have for helping these young men just better themselves, their situations. I love that we get together and help them dig themselves out of the hole that they've got themselves into. You know, I just want you to know, Johnny, I appreciate you and everything you do for these young men. Shout out to Johnny Dumbbell, everybody.
Hey, brother. And to you young men, remember one thing. I don't challenge you to see if you can do it. I don't challenge you to somehow make you go, oh, well, I'll show him. No, I don't want you to show me. I want you to look in the mirror 2, 3, 4 weeks into your challenge, and I want you to look at yourself. And I want you to challenge yourself from that point on. Add that extra day. Add that extra rep. Add that extra set. Because everything that you put at the end of what you've already done is going to be one more step closer. And by the way, one more step faster, becoming the man that not only were you meant to be, but the man that if you do things right, you will be determined to be and will settle for nothing less. That's what I expect of you. Let's do it. All right.
All right, we got one more question tonight. The nephews, you can call in with your own or put them in the chat if you'd like. We'll answer them either way for you.
So we got question 4 from Jesse. He says, confused, staying no contact when my ex might reach out again.
Bruh.
I am currently in a state of no contact. Apparently, this is like some MSNBC update. He goes, this is how my anxious ex and I ended it. First, she wanted to stay in contact when we broke up. I wanted no contact. Second, she said she still loved me and missed me and said things like, if we're meant to be, we will be. Third, at the same time, she genuinely believed that breaking up was the best thing for both of us because we each needed to heal. Fourth, she then changed her Instagram picture, which he did not include, from us, the two of them together, to her, and got new followers and a new following for her attention. Oh, in parentheses, I know this is one of the ways she's handling her feelings. Will she reach out again? Okay, so here's the thing. Jesse, I don't want to verbally slap you, so I'm going to go ahead and have Uncle Bill take it. Uncle Bill, please.
Uncle Johnny, Jesse,
you gotta be kidding me.
He's in no contact, but his mind is still in contact. Now, look, nephew, I'm going to tell you a hard truth here. Many anxious exes do reach out, but not because they've changed. It's because their anxiety spikes. Words like, I still love you, if we're meant to be, that's emotional comfort. That's not commitment. All right. Now, because you wrote in, and I want to give you some actual game here. So let's talk about re-entry standards for a minute. And this is the integrity piece, sir. You need standards before she reaches out.
Yep.
You're going to freestyle from emotion if you don't. So re-entry standard number 1, let's talk about accountability. Shall we, nephew?
Oh, you mean the fact where she wanted to stay in contact, but, not be together?
Nope. She must be able to name what happened without blame shifting. Standard
Good
2.
luck.
Let's talk about something called consistency over time. Not a 2-day burst of affection. I'm talking about an actual pattern. Standard 3. Clear intention. Not I miss you. More like I want to rebuild, and here's how. Step 4, or excuse me, nephew, standard 4. We're going to talk about a little something called behavior change. Therapy, journaling, boundaries, reduced attention seeking, something real. Standard 5. Your peace remains your priority. If contact makes you spiral, slow it down. Now, as she reaches
Stop
out,
altogether.
you got the script. Good to hear from you. I'm open to a calm conversation. I'm not rushing into anything. And then you watch her behavior because Uncle Johnny, you want to tell him?
I would say don't entertain it at all.
All right, look, nephew, if she doesn't reach out, you still win because no contact was never a finishing line. It was a reset.
So, man, Uncle Bill's right, and I'm going to go ahead and agree with that. If you're going to continue to have anything to do with this girl, he's right. But see, I'm going to take you the same direction, but I'm going to veer right a little bit. So, you itemize this, which, by the way, I really appreciate. You said she wanted to stay in contact when she broke up with you, and you wanted no contact. So you wanted to cut ties, but she didn't, even though she was the one breaking up. Why do you think that is? Because here's the thing. Most of the women that I've known, most of the women that my friends have dated, and most of the women that the guys have written into me with questions, comments, stories, everything like that, have experienced is that a lot of these girls treat relationships the way that men treat jobs. You don't quit one until you got another one lined up. And so she wanted to stay in contact when you broke up. So maybe she wanted to just be friends because you're such a great guy and she owes it to you for being nice. Or maybe it's because she's going on to another venture, and if that doesn't work out, she's going to need to know she got you to fall back on. In the comments, tell me whether whether it's A or B. So item 2, she said she still loved me and missed me. She said things like, "If we're meant to be, we will be." If she says to you, "If we're meant to be, we will be," what she's saying is, keep trying and sticking around, and maybe if I run out of options, I'll give you another shot. I've already had you, so I already know what's happening there. Item 3. At the same time, she genuinely believed that breaking up was the best thing for both of us because we each needed to heal. Or could it be that it's the best thing for her because she wants you to believe that you need to heal because she needs to move forward with somebody that she might be able to hook up with that's better in her mind, but she needs you to stick around in case that don't work out. So what do we got? Item 4. Also, she changed her Instagram picture from the two of you, which, I mean, if you broke up, I mean, obviously you don't want to put the couple up there, to herself. Now, this might have been unintentional. It's possible. But the fact of the matter is, when the guys that have been following her, that have been orbiting her, that have been influencing her, or not influencing her, but influenced to look at her, the guys who have been commenting on her photos, hitting that like button, now they see she's single. And the ones who really believe they have a shot, guess what? She's going to get more likes. She's going to get more comments because now there is not that other guy in the picture with her, and it's just her. Most of us know what that means when you go from a couple picture to an individual. Will she reach out again? Well, depends. It depends on how her search for something better than you goes. It depends on how her endeavor to get to that guy that she really wants to be with, the guy that she's already been talking to before she broke up with you. Because again, she's not going to leave a sure thing for something that's uncertain in her mind. However, because she's not sure of it, she wants to make sure you're still there. What does that tell you? That tells you that she is looking to upgrade. And if that upgrade doesn't work, she'll come back to you until she has another chance to upgrade. Now, I could be way off here. I could be totally ignorant here. In the comments, if I'm wrong, tell me. But the fact of the matter is, at this point, she is telling you she doesn't want you. It doesn't even matter what the reason is. Bill, does the why matter?
The why does not matter, Johnny.
No. The fact that she doesn't want to be your committed girlfriend and have no other options or no other. The fact of the matter is you're not her one and only right now. She doesn't want you to be her one and only. And that's all you need to know.
All right, nephews, listen to me for a minute. Most of you don't lack confidence. You lack self-command. You don't lose women because you're boring. You lose them because you panic under uncertainty. You rush clarity. You explain too much. You chase reassurance instead of building stability. And every time you do that, you teach the world something about you, that your center lives outside of you. All right, here's the truth that they don't tell you. Game isn't manipulation. Game is knowing who you are before the moment tests you. Game is restraint. Game is timing. Game is not needing to win the interaction because you already won yourself. A man with real game doesn't need tricks. He doesn't need scripts to impress. He doesn't need to chase attention or punish silence. He moves with clarity. He speaks once, cleanly. He's willing to walk away without burning the building down, because that's power. Right? If someone pulls you back to collapse, that's not love, that's attachment. If someone goes quiet and you spiral, that's not interest, that's anxiety. If someone disrespects you and you explode, that's not strength, nephews, that's loss of control. Masculinity isn't loud, it's regulated. The calmest man in the room sets the tempo. The man who can sit in discomfort without reacting owns the moment. The man who doesn't need immediate validation becomes a magnet without even trying. So let me say this clearly. You don't need to become colder. You need to become steadier. You don't need to dominate women. You need to govern yourself. You don't need to chase sparks. You need to build alignment. Because when you're aligned, you stop negotiating your worth. You stop auditioning for affection. You stop abandoning yourself just to keep somebody close. All right? That's when things change. Not because you learned some trick, not because you finally learned how to stand on your own nervous system. Nephews, learn to pause. Learn to choose your words. Learn to walk away clean. That's game. That's integrity. That's how men with purpose move. Now, before we get out of here and we see you next time, Uncle John, you got anything you'd like to add to that, sir?
Yeah, just remember, you are in charge of your own destiny. And it's very important for you to go to bed feeling better than you did when you woke up. Now, we're not going to see you until Thursday night. That gives us what? Almost 71 hours before we get to see you. We will not be there to help you or bail you out of jail. So, no drugs or alcohol, please. But if you do drink, don't drive. And if you do drive, don't park. Because accidents cause people. Until then, we'll see you.
Thanks for watching, nephews. We appreciate you. God bless the real. We out.
Yeah.